What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, I will be listing my top 10 Transformers of 2024. I can't remember if I did one for 2023, but I definitely did one for 2022 and I believe 2021 as well. And I just figured I'd bring it back. So with that being said, let's talk about some honorable mentions first here. So I'm gonna bring out 4 Legacy United releases. First one here, Tiger Hawk. Next one here, Deluxe Gears. And I'll put them closer to the camera like this. And then 2 core class figures, Energon, Magmatron, and Beast Machines Cheetor. I guess I'd start from left to right. So Gears here. He is really cool. I like him. But I don't know. I've gone back and forth with the Minibot Deluxes these days for $25. They feel great. They look they feel a bit better than the standard 5.5-inch Deluxes or whatever it is nowadays. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel substantial enough for $25 in terms of what you're getting. I still feel like we're being cheated out here a little bit. And the fact that they really didn't paint the opening chest is a bit ridiculous to me, especially with how small the figure is and simple it is in design and transformation. It would have been nice to see the extra paint. There is a deluxe on the top 10 list that got it slightly above him because I just feel like we were overdue for that character a bit more, and he just seemed a bit more fun in hand in my opinion. But Gears is still a great figure, probably one of the best deluxes Hasbro has made in the last couple years. Now, going on to Energon Megatron here, you guys may have heard me rail on these 2 core class figures in previous videos over the last year. I still like them. I'm still grateful we got Beast Machines and Energon updates in 2024, the 40th anniversary for Transformers. But at the same time, again, I just wish Cheetor was either a Deluxe or Voyager and Megatron was either a Leader class or Commander class for the year. It would have been so much better. A lot more people would have been talking about these releases, and probably a lot more people would have bought them as well if they were in their correct scaling and size classes. So it's really unfortunate. I really feel like Hasbro missed the mark on Energon and Beast Machines updates this year. They played it way too safe. They just basically assumed things that I really don't think are true. But last one here, Silverbolt. Everyone's favorite heroic animal robo. So he is really nice, but I feel like there were some other Voyager releases that made it on the top 10 list that Silverbolt here really didn't quite live up to it because the paint is really lacking. He's really simplistic kind of for a Voyager class. He just feels like the Deluxe class figure, but slightly bigger and with a couple extra pieces to it. It's not really too like I don't know the right word, but it just feels a little less than what it should be in my opinion, but still, obviously it made it to the honorable mentions. I still think it's a great figure. Now, for the top 10 list itself, let's go in to number 10 here, Cybertron Deluxe Hotshot. Now, this guy, I feel like he's just a bit more fun, a bit more interesting to look at, and he just feels like a deluxe that, in terms of height, and I guess in terms of transformation, it feels like a deluxe you would get in like 2010, kinda. So I really like that factor to it, and just the fact that we're getting more Unicron Trilogy updates. Obviously, Hotshot is one of the main mascots of this channel, so I'm gonna glaze Hotshot anytime we get a figure of him, unless if it's that trash Siege figure. For number 9, we have a Leader class pick, Tiger Hawk here. Oh, I gotta lift up the camera just a wee bit. This is a tall boy. So there we go, Tiger Hawk. Now I put him at 9 because I feel like there's a bit too much hollowness. He could have came with, I don't know, a bit more to him for the Leader class price, which is basically the story of most of these Leader class figures nowadays. But if you set that aside, he still feels great. He's still really fun to mess with. and he's still really good to play with and photograph and do stop motions with, because there are a lot of options still with the accessories that they did give, even though it feels a little lackluster to me, which is why he's in the lower slot. And I forgot to mention why Hotshot was only number 10. It's because of the hollowness and because of the whole clear plastic back section. It feels a little brittle to me, but I haven't had any issues yet. I've transformed it probably like 5 times, so those are basically my main complaints. There is a lot of hollowness for how simplistic the figure is, kinda. Number 8 here, Cybertron Voyager class Starscream. I gotta raise the camera again. I lowered it, then I have to raise it again. So there we go, Starscream. So he's really dope. I love this Voyager class figure. Probably one of the greatest generations Voyagers Hasbro's ever made. But the clear plastic blades are annoying. They don't feel right. They feel extremely brittle. Those mushroom pegs, I don't know how long they're going to hold. If you guys remember, I did a video on one of my copies of this Starscream figure. The clear plastic snapped on one of the blades, so I would just be careful of that. It doesn't really seem too substantial over time. But that's basically my main complaint with this guy that's kind of holding him back. Like, the main feature of Cybertron Starscream is his shoulder-mounted blades. So if you mess that up, you mess up a substantial portion of what makes Cybertron Starscream. So I feel like that really bogged it down for me. Number 7, you guys may be surprised at how low this guy is on the list, but Magmatron. Oh boy, I gotta raise that camera again. There we go. My boy Magmatron. Obviously, one of my favorite designs and villains of Transformers and Beast Wars. But in terms of the figure itself, he's a little shorter than your typical commander class that we've gotten over the years. And I don't know, he's got hollowness to him that really feels like Hasbro didn't need to do that, and they were just trying to save even more money than they needed to. Like, all that hollowness on the long neck of that aquatic dinosaur looks super ugly. I mean, they did it with the original figure. You would think Hasbro would want to negate that this time around, almost 30 years later, and update that look to make it just better looking and more streamlined, especially for people who do photography and stop motions. But no, and some of the weapons are still missing on this guy, even though he's a $90 figure. And I saw some people gloating about the knee ratchets on this guy. I mean, they're cool. I'm glad the knees are ratcheted, but at the same time, I mean, look at that. They're not too strong. They're ratcheted, but I mean, they really don't hold the weight of the figure. You look at knee ratchets from figures 15, 20 years ago when I was a little kid, they really didn't do that for knee ratchets, especially for a figure that costed around $90 back then. So just those few issues weighed him down for me a little bit. Still an amazing figure. Still one of my favorite figures Hasbro has made in generations ever. Number 6. Now this boy is a big boy. You could probably tell who it is by me saying that. Armada Titan class tidal wave. So, I gotta raise the camera even more than I already did. There we are. So tidal wave here. He's great. I love him. All the ratchet joints, the clickety clankety is amazing. I love the size of him. Nice big chunky boy. But for his price and his size, he is substantially smaller than your typical Titan class for $200 nowadays. And he has some hollowness, especially in the hands, that really don't feel like something that should be on a figure this expensive. And he's super simplistic for transformation and features. And all that considered, he still doesn't come with his Minicon, or in this case for Titan class, his minifigure. It seems like Hasbro has just negated doing minifigures with these Titan class figures the last couple of years, and they budgeted it out. So these budget cuts lately with Titan class, it really does weigh it down for me, and I feel like that's part of the reason why they wanted to lower the price, because of production and because of just, you know, them being cheap on these Titan class figures nowadays. They want to lower it back down to $150, because $200 for a mass-produced figure feels like you really can't get too much of an amazing experience out of it, which is crazy to say, but it's just the reality we're living in. So, I mean, he's still a great figure. All the paint and sculpted details are super glorious to look at in person. But just those issues with him, the simplicity, the size, and still no minicon is really ridiculous in my opinion for the price he is. Number 5, we're getting into some video game territory here. My guy, Ratchet. Getting into the top 5 here, ladies and gentlemen. So Ratchet, he is a great figure. I really like this Voyager class. Probably one of the best Studio Series Voyagers we've gotten. The plastic quality feels amazing. He has really nice articulation, even an ab crunch in him, which I was super surprised about. His weapons are really nice. Love the axe. And this gun here is probably one of the best gun gimmicks that they've done for the War for Cybertron game Studio Series figures. He is missing some paint that would have been nice to see. He does feel a little bit bland in terms of that department, but other than that, he is a really well-done figure, and I really recommend him. Number 5, Animated Motormaster. Now this bad mamma jamma right here is really nice. I like this better than Animated Optimus. Just the color scheme, the quality of him feels a bit more improved from that Optimus mold. And just the fact that we have an Animated Motormaster in the main line when he was originally a FunPub BotCon exclusive like 13, 14 years ago is just blowing my mind at this point. I love the Animated Motormaster head sculpt. It just fits this mold so well and it looks amazing. Just all around a great figure. If I had to critique him, I just wish that we got some more of the painted details on him. It does feel like it's lacking in paint a little bit here. It's the final countdown, the top 3. Number 3 here, Studio Series Megatron. Now, you may be surprised he's not my number 1 pick, but there's a couple better ones to me. The reason why he made it to number 3 is just the transformations, the alternate modes. I'm not really too big of a fan of it, and I feel like he could have came with some more accessories for how small and kind of how simple he is for like almost a $60 figure. But other than that, obviously, the sculpted details, the paint are glorious. The look of him is amazing. The articulation is fantastic. But I do feel like the arm cannon is a bit too dinky for him, for his design and how Megatron is as a character. Aside from those issues, still a great figure, and that's basically why he's number 3. Number 2. Now again, you may be surprised why this isn't number 1, but there's a certain Bayverse character that's at number 1 for me. I'm sorry, guys. But he's still fantastic. I mean, you get the axe, the gun, the Matrix chamber. That is unpainted. That is one of the reasons why it's a little down for me. The trailer looks fantastic. You get Roller up in there. You can see I have him plugged in there. It's just that some of the stress mark issues on this guy are a bit annoying, and the assembly problem and error, I got that. And plus, he could have had some extra paint here and there that's missing on him, especially in the chest. But other than that, this is probably the greatest Optimus Prime that Hasbro has ever made, and we're probably not going to get one better than this for a long time. And sorry if you guys can hear that noise in the background, it is trash day, so just don't mind that. But my number 1 pick here is Movie Masterpiece 2007 Brawl. Yes, I'm a Bayverse kid. I had to do it. I just had to do it. Oh, I gotta move him over. And I gotta raise the camera a wee bit. There we are. So, Brawl. All the accessories, blast effects, missile effects, the die cast, the plastic quality feels great. The transformation is complex, but not to the point where you don't feel like transforming him. And the weapons look badass. The design of Brawl is just amazing in general. He's aged so well, his CG design over the last 17, 18 years. He was always one of my favorite Decepticons and Bayverse designs since I was a little kid. So getting this guy in super accurate movie masterpiece quality form this year was like a dream come true. And I'm so happy I was able to own this figure this year. He's my number 1 pick. I just think he's amazing. I really don't have any complaints about him. Maybe just could have added a couple extra steps to condense the arms and the back section a bit more. But other than that, and it would have been nice to get maybe some LED light up eyes. But I don't know. I guess for regulation reasons and cost, Hasbro can't do that. But I guess I'm spoiled by knockoff and third-party companies who are able to do that for figures that are 70, 80 bucks. But other than that, I think he's amazing. That's why he's my #1 pick. He just looks great, feels great, and I really have no complaints, basically just nitpicks. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below what is your top 10 for Transformers releases of 2024. And yeah, catch you guys in the next video. Bye!